Now these two people, I guarantee you if they go into a busy restaurant, they never have to wait for a table because of their accomplishments. So these two people were co-writers and directors of The Great Mouse Detective. How about The Little Mermaid? How about Aladdin? How about Hercules? How about Treasure Planet? I mean, we might be here all night going through their accomplishments. Co-writer and co-director of the upcoming feature Moana. And more importantly for tonight, they were co-writers and of course co-directors of the film you're seeing tonight, Princess and the Frog. Will you please welcome with a big round of applause, Clements and Musker.
I am John, I am Ron. Michael Leon Wooley, who's going to come out later, does a voice. We were at the Annie's together, he called me Ron. I mean, come on, it happens a lot. Ron, you can remember that. That's Ron and I'm John because Ron starts with R and Ron has red hair. I'm sorry, he used to have red hair.
It used to be
I used to have hair.
It used to be possible to tell us apart because I had red hair. Right. But now we look exactly alike. So
in a dark room, even our wives are confused.
Anyway, we are here to celebrate Zootopia, wonderful, wonderful movie that is soon to be released, and to celebrate The Princess and the Frog.
In fact, before I go on, we should give a shout. We do have some of the amazing voice talent from the movie that are going to come out in a moment. We also have a few people in the house. There may be more. I know there's at least a few. Rob Edwards, who is our writer on the movie, is out here somewhere. Rob, are you here? Rob's here, I believe. And where are you, Rob? Okay, there you are. Okay, there you are. Michelle, Rob. And Marlon West, are you here? Marlon West, who headed the effects department, is here in the house. All the bubbles and everything, you see the magic. That was Marlon. But Ron was going to talk a little bit about the story.
Actually, today is a very special day at Disney Studios. We actually had a big celebration today in honor of the 10-year anniversary of something that happened 10 years ago. Disney bought Pixar. And John Lasseter and Ed Catmull, who were the heads of Pixar, came and became our leaders at Disney as well as Pixar. And it was a very groundbreaking moment. It's something that I think, a lot of the films that have been celebrated, I think, in the last week are all really results of that event. It certainly changed our lives. It changed many people's lives, and I think it was such a great thing for Disney Animation. Just a little background on the movie. About that time, when John and Ed, about 10 years ago, when John and Ed came to Disney, and they discussed with us what we might want to do as a new project. And the actual fairy tale of the Frog Prince had actually been kicking around Disney since the time of Beauty and the Beast, as far as I can remember. There have been so many versions of the story, fairy tale versions, various versions.
Rob Minkoff had a version, Eric Goldberg had a version.
A lot of versions. Then I think maybe about, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, Disney purchased a book, and I'm forgetting the author, but called The Frog Princess. The Frog Princess. And the twist in this book was when the princess kissed the frog, she actually turned into a frog herself. And Disney started exploring that. We were actually interested in that project, but we were not connected to it for a while. When John and Ed came to Disney, they were interested in that project. We were interested in that project. Actually, Pixar had also separately, for several years, they had developed a version of The Frog Prince. Their version was set in the city of New Orleans, John Lasseter's favorite city. But it was a modern day story, and it had to do with jazz a lot, and it had certain elements. We sort of put it all together and pitched a story to John that actually took place in New Orleans, the great city of New Orleans, in the 1920s. We added a shadow man and an old bayou woman and we added voodoo and we had this idea of a young protagonist, a young hard-working protagonist that had a dream of opening her own restaurant.
Yes.
And
the first career woman princess, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the real world.
We pitched the idea to John. We pitched the idea of Randy Newman doing the music. We thought that would be great because he has a lot, his roots go back very strongly. And John loved the idea, and his first thing was, this is great, but before you do anything else on this movie, before you write a script, before you do anything, you've got to go visit that city and research the heck out of it.
Neither one of us had ever been to New Orleans, so through the course of the movie, as we researched the movie, we went down and we got to meet a voodoo priestess, Ava K. Jones. We got to meet a Cajun bayou guy, Captain Reggie, who took us, he told us, you know, he said, he gave us a tour of the bayou and he was feeding marshmallows to alligators and he was saying, you know, this is how you tell the good tour guides from the bad by how many fingers they got, because he would literally drop marshmallows in and get his hands out of the way and the gators would come up.
Remember Reggie, he was Cajun and he had some dental issues.
Yeah, I know. Reggie did have some issues that way. He did, but he made fun of that himself. But we incorporated that in our Firefly Ray. We also got to ride, and we're going to talk about race. We also got to ride on Mardi Gras float, which was an amazing experience. We got to have, if anybody wants to throw beads, they can, but you're on the balcony. No, it's okay. It was a great deal of fun, and we basically brought back that research. We were there actually. It was 8 months after Katrina had happened, so the city was still suffering from Katrina. We thought of this movie as sort of a Valentine in New Orleans. We really wanted to appreciate the, you know, and relish the greatness of New Orleans, the great food, the great music that comes from New Orleans. Leah Chase, this great restaurateur who's still going strong. I think she's 91 years old, something like that. Now has a great restaurant. Yeah, let's hear it for Leah Chase.
It's a magical city and a great place to tell a magical story.
And speaking of magic, we're bringing some of the magic here tonight. We have some of the amazing actors who participate in this movie. We want to bring them to the stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, first. Whoa! All right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Actually, you're not supposed to pick them up if you don't catch them, but
yeah, I know. Thank you. We'll eventually try and have about 30 of these. First, please welcome to the stage. I know he's been here recently. He's a man with 1,000 voices, huge talent. We've got a story about Jim because we did. Ladies and gentlemen, our Cajun Firefly, Jim Cummings, get out here.
Man, y'all hickeys got some good time,
Well, we did not know about Jim because he came in. We worked with Jim on Little Mermaid. He did the voice, which of course we said, Jim, remember? They say, I don't remember that. I've done the cajillion things. But if you watch Little Mermaid, there's a guy, a sailor in the opening number, Fathoms Below.
Fathoms Below.
Give me goosebumps, right? Those guys. In fact, you can do Jim's line more than Jim can now.
flying strong sea in a following way. King Triton must be in a friendly type mood.
That is Jim Cummings, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And of course, he was the nasty guard Rasul in Aladdin, named after Rasul Azadani, our head of layout, and he was the one who wanted to cut Princess Jasmine's hand off. Nasty guy he was. He was the centaur Nessus in Hercules, who sort of went going across the stream. That was Jim.
Yes, it was.
But we did not know when we were casting Ray, our Firefly, that Jim actually had lived in New Orleans and had worked with Cajun dudes.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. I went down there, me.
Yeah,
I went out there on that riverboat like that. You had some kind of good time. And anything that would slither, I was just telling a nigga, anything that would slither by or fall out of a tree and almost kill you, or, you know, fly over you and poop, or dig a hole and dive in. You see that, boy? That's good eating right there. And you put it over rice, whoo, talk about good. So my misspent youth got me a chance to hang out with these guys.
That was great. Jim was so great.
One of the greatest legendary voice talents in
The great thing about Jim is Jim can improvise in character. So some of you, and Rob wrote great lines, but Jim,
everybody thinks that.
So amazing job, Jim. And then we have, and you can't have a firefly without an alligator, right? Well,
You'd be foolish.
So please, welcome to the stage, Michael Leon Wooley, the voice of Lewis.
They drew us to scale in the movie. I know y'all picked up on that. Thank you.
We first saw Michael in Dreamgirls, actually. We took note of him in Dreamgirls. He was in Dreamgirls. And
Tiny Joe Dixon.
Tiny Joe Dixon, yes. And he came in, I think, was it here in New York? Was it New York?
New York.
Right?
In New York, yes, in New York. We were seeing a few Broadway people.
We were.
Came in and sang. And
he sang, blew us away. I know you've done Little Shop of Horrors on
I
the
did
stage.
Little Shop of Broadway.
Who were you?
Right, I was the voice of Audrey too. Feed me.
And the amazing thing about Michael, he has an identical twin brother. I'm not kidding. Am I kidding?
It's true.
I know.
It's true. We're not identical.
Not identical. Okay, fraternal.
I'm the pretty one.
Okay.
Yeah. So just don't tell them.
And the voice of the Fox Movie Channel?
The voice of FXM. If you turn the TV on, you can hear me go, next on FXM. Tuesdays at 5 Pacific.
So think of Louis the Alligator when you hear that. Great singer. And we have one more person that we want to bring to the stage. The star of Princess and the Frog, a woman of vast stage and screen experience. We're starring Caroline Change in Dreamgirls. She's currently going to be in they're doing a new Roots that's going to be on, I think not until the fall. She talked about shooting it in New Orleans. Ladies and gentlemen, Princess Tiana herself, Anika Noni Rose. That comes later. Anika was actually, when we were reading people for this part, she was, out of the hundreds of people we heard, she was the second person we heard.
It was a very coveted role. There were many, many actresses.
Take that, Beyonce. Take that. Take that, Tyra Banks. Who? Not saying anything. Alicia Keys. No, no.
Okay. But actually, I think, Anika, you were actually the second person that auditioned for Tiana. And right away, I think,
set the bar so incredibly high, and we were like, she's it, she's the person.
there can't be another.
Yeah, her singing, her acting, and then later we saw her, of course, on Cat on a Hot Tin Roof on Broadway, which was fabulous. Tell me, because I feel proud to have been part of a movie where we had a princess where a lot of girls, little girls, who could see a princess that looked like themselves for the first time. Can you talk about that a little bit?
First of all, when I went into audition, I had to walk through a hallway with all of these gels of classic Disney movies. And I went in, I think that was my callback though, because the first time I was in a bungalow somewhere, and I didn't even know what to sing. I had like 80 songs. I was like, I can sing all 80 because I don't know what you want. But I got to this hallway for my callback, and I'm looking at Bambi and Cinderella and the Fox and the Hound and Sleeping Beauty, and I started to cry. And so I'm going in to be this happy, wonderful princess, and I'm coming down the hallway like, I was so amazingly moved, and I don't think that it really hit me, the poignance of what it was, until we started to do screenings.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have the full screening. We would just show little bits.
Later in the game when we started to preview for the public.
And parents would come up to me crying, and little children would come with their eyes as big as saucers, like wanting to touch me or afraid to. Either one of
that was us. No.
But it's been a really magnificent ride, because here we are 7 years maybe.
Yeah, it was released in 2009, November 2009. So we're in the half there somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was a while ago. Yeah.
And people still bring their children up to me like I feel like I'm the Pope. But I kiss a lot of babies and I hug a lot of babies. I do, because I get excited and they make me get really teary because it's really thrilling to me. And then I have some kids who are like, oh, this is Princess Tiana, go say hi. And they're like, that's not the princess. Where's your dress?
You gotta have the dress, you gotta have it. Well, this dress is a remarkable stand-in right here, I think.
So ladies and gentlemen, how about one more big round of applause for this fantastic Thank you so much.
And enjoy The Princess and the Frog. Thank you.